When my husband Matt and I purchased our home, it seemed like a dream fulfilled. We'd been wed for nearly a decade, and though we had no children, we envisioned aging together in that house. It was a cozy two-story place tucked at the end of a serene cul-de-sac. Not lavish, but it was ours, or so I believed. The mortgage, $1,700 monthly, was steep, but doable. I covered every payment. Matt and I had a deal. I handled the mortgage, and he took care of utilities and groceries, splitting the load fairly. Or so I thought. I'm a librarian, a job that's not flashy but fulfilling. I cherished the calm rhythm of my life until I walked in one day to find strangers settling into my living room. Not total strangers, Matt's older sister, Sabrina, and her freeloading husband, Brad. They hauled duffel bags through the door like they'd scored a free getaway. Matt stood to the side, hands stuffed in his hoodie, avoiding my gaze. "Hey, Matty," Sabrina said breezily. "Hope it's cool if we stay here a bit." I blinked, stunned. "What?" Brad tossed a backpack onto my favorite chair. "Our lease fell through, and we're between places. Just a month, tops." I turned to Matt. "Is this a prank?" He gave a weak shrug. "I didn't know how to tell you. They're family." That word, family, always seems to pop up when someone's about to betray you and call it kindness. I bit my tongue, avoiding a scene in front of them. "It's temporary," I told myself. It wasn't. Weeks dragged on, and Sabrina and Brad made themselves far too comfortable. They didn't job hunt, didn't pitch in, and acted like they owned the place. Brad turned the living room into his gaming den, while Sabrina cluttered the kitchen, leaving dishes piled like a fragile tower. They griped about my cooking, the Wi-Fi, even my candles scent. "Ever consider buying food that doesn't taste like packing material?" Sabrina smirked one evening, wine glass in hand, sprawling on the couch. I clenched my teeth. "Feel free to shop yourself. No job, right?" She laughed. Brad chimed in. "This place is freezing. Turn up the heat." They didn't care the heating bill had doubled since they arrived. When I raised it with Matt, hoping he'd intervene, he just sighed. "They'll leave soon." "It's been 6 weeks," I reminded him. "You said a month." "I know, but Brad's job hunting." A lie. Brad spent afternoons at bars and Sabrina lounged, raiding the fridge or using my makeup without asking. I noticed Matt's behavior shift too. He was jittery, evasive. When I pushed him to confront his sister, he deflected. "Why are you making a big deal?" he snapped one night. "They're not hurting anyone. They're bleeding us dry, Matt, financially, emotionally, physically, and they're not even trying to leave." He stared at his phone, muttering, "It's complicated." That's when I sensed something was off. I started paying closer attention. His late nights, odd calls, strange behavior. Then I did something unthinkable. I visited a real estate office, not to sell, but to check if something had changed. The agent recognized Matt. "Oh, he was here last week," she said, flipping through papers, asking about transferring property to family. I stared. Did he say he'd already done it? Not yet. But he wanted to know how quick it could happen. I left, heart pounding, hands trembling. That night, I couldn't sleep. Sabrina laughed at her phone, pouring more wine, while Brad argued with an online poker dealer. Matt dodged me. Then came the breaking point. It was a Tuesday, and I got home late from a library event. The house was oddly quiet, no Sabrina or Brad. Matt waited in the kitchen. "We need to talk," he said. My stomach sank. "Go ahead." He took a shaky breath. "I sold the house." I froze. "What?" "I transferred ownership to Sabrina and Brad." Silence. "You gave away the house I've paid for every month?" He looked defensive. "It was in my name." Sabrina walked in, wearing my scarf, holding groceries. "Oh, did he tell you?" "Start packing. We're having friends over and we need the space." Brad appeared, clutching a six-pack. "You heard her. This isn't your house anymore." I looked at Matt, searching for any shred of loyalty. He stared at the floor, whispering, "I'm sorry." "It's done." I was alone, outsmarted. I didn't yell or cry. I went upstairs, grabbed my work bag, some clothes, and my laptop. At the door, I took a deep breath and said calmly, "Fine, I'll go." Sabrina scoffed, "Good riddance." I didn't look at her, but in my head, I thought, "You'll see what's coming." That night, in a cheap motel room, I sat on a creaky bed, replaying Matt's betrayal. The house I'd paid for, made a home, was gone. My hands shook, not from sadness, but fury. I called in sick the next day and contacted a lawyer, Shannon Vega, a no-nonsense woman with gray hair and a voice like steel. We met at her small office. She reviewed my documents, mortgage statements, bank transfers, loan papers. So, she said, adjusting her glasses, the house is in Matt's name, but you've paid every mortgage payment? I nodded. He handled utilities and groceries. That was our deal. She tapped her pen. If he hasn't finalized the transfer, no new deed, no title change, you might have a case, especially since you're the one paying. Courts don't take kindly to one spouse secretly giving away a shared asset. I sat taller. Can I fight this? She leaned back. You can win, but lawsuits are slow. You want something faster, don't you? I want them out, I said, and humiliated. She smirked. Let's make them want to leave. I called Jenna, a college friend who trained dogs, huge Newfoundlands, for therapy and rescue work. You want me to move in? She asked, laughing. You and your dogs, just for a few days. I'll explain. You're not scaring Matt. You're reminding him what fear is. She grinned. Count me in. Over the next 2 days, I rented a van, grabbed Jenna's supplies, and had the locks changed. Matt had left me vulnerable, but he'd regret it. I returned to the house. Sabrina was passed out on the couch, chips scattered. Brad was grilling in the backyard, the smell like burnt regret. Matt was upstairs, music blaring. Jenna stood with me, her 5 dogs, Bear, Moose, Titan, River, Luna, leashed and calm, their massive heads at hip level. Matt appeared at the stairs and froze. Madison. Sabrina stumbled up. You're not welcome. I'm not staying, I said sweetly. Just dropping off new tenants. Tenants. Matt's voice broke. I nodded at Jenna. You remember Jenna? She's moving in with her dogs. Brad stormed in. What's this nonsense? I smiled, pulling out an envelope with photos. Matt with a younger woman behind the library, Sabrina with a man at a hotel bar, Brad at a blackjack table. My emergency fund paid for a private investigator, I said. Matt grabbed the photos. Where'd you get these? Does it matter? I know why you pushed me out. You were blackmailing Matt, weren't you, Sabrina? Threatened to expose his affair unless he gave you the house. Silence. Matt swallowed. Sabrina looked away. Brad studied his shoes. Jenna's dog sniffed the air, tails wagging. Matt stepped back. You know I'm allergic to dogs. And scared of them, I said, smiling. Since that incident when you were 8, right? You told me on our second date. You wouldn't, he whispered. I did. Jenna unleashed Bear, who padded forward. Matt ran upstairs. Sabrina shrieked, jumping onto the coffee table. You're crazy. Get out by tomorrow, I said. You can't. Legally, you're not tenants, no lease, no title. Shannon's drafting a restraining order if you don't leave. Brad puffed up. This is our home. Jenna let Titan step forward. Brad retreated. I turned to Jenna. Make yourself at home. She grinned. Gladly. The dogs bounded in, exploring. I sat on the stairs, watching my betrayers scatter. Matt, pale, muttered, You're insane. No, I said. I'm done being pushed. That night felt poetic. I slept in the guest room while Jenna and her dogs took the master suite. The house felt alive again, like it knew its true owner. The dogs, curious but gentle, trailed Matt constantly. Doors opened to snouts. Heads rested on his lap. Their howls broke the night. You planned this. Matt hissed the next morning, exhausted. You planned to steal my house, I replied. Sabrina stayed in her room, claiming panic attacks, spraying perfume that made the dogs sneeze and bark. Brad cracked first. I can't stay, he whispered in the kitchen. They're watching me. They're dogs, I said. They sense fear. He fled that afternoon, leaving noodle packets and a broken controller. Sabrina raged. Where's Brad? He ran, I said, sipping coffee. Couldn't handle it. She threatened the lawsuit, but I handed her Shannon's cease and desist letter, demanding they leave or face police. You can't evict me, she spat. You were never legal tenants, I said. Matt tried to mediate, which was laughable. In the backyard, he spoke softly. I messed up trying to help my sister. By betraying me? I asked. I didn't mean for it to spiral. You wanted me gone quietly. He sighed. I want to fix this. I handed him divorce papers. Sign. He froze. You filed. More than filed. You get nothing. I get what I paid for, plus damages. Fight it, and those affair photos go public. Your girlfriend's at the community college, right? That won't look good. He deflated. You're cruel. No, I'm done being kind. He signed that night. Sabrina left 2 days later, dropping her purse when the dogs barked. I shut the door behind her, closing a chapter. The house was mine again, peaceful. Jenna stayed a week, helping repaint and fix damage. Her dogs lounged in the sunroom. One morning, she showed me adoption papers for Olive, a golden retriever who loved quiet homes and books. She's perfect, I said. I saw Matt once more at the courthouse for the final signing. He looked worn, couch surfing, jobless after his affair went public. His girlfriend was fired. Her husband filed for divorce. Sabrina and Brad split. Brad was arrested for theft. Sabrina faced fraud charges. Karma works quietly. My home now smells of lemon balm and wood polish. Jenna visits, and Olive sleeps by me as I read. The garden thrives, and so do I. Justice, I learned, isn't cold. It's warm, furry, and tail wagging. That beats revenge any day.